Hello, and thanks for joining me for another review. Today we have the Echo Show 5. I purchased this on Prime Day, so I got a pretty good deal on it. I'm glad I did because I don't think I would have enjoyed it half as much as if I'd have paid the full price for it, which was $80. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at it, and I'll give you sort of my review on it, but I also want to just point out some things that I'm sort of frustrated with. To start off with, I'm really not happy that they put a proprietary plug on the back of it for the power. I liked having the ability to plug in like a micro USB and then using it elsewhere and not having to have just this plug everywhere and also running off of a USB. It does have a micro USB in the middle, but that's non-functional, and from what I can tell, that is for future projects for people that wanted to develop stuff for it. And as you can see, it has a headphone jack, and I have that plugged into two Logitech speakers with bass, and it sounds pretty good like that. Without that, it sounds sort of too much bass and muffled, so I really didn't enjoy that. It has a little switch here at the top that you can move back and forth, and as you can see, it'll turn the camera on, and then you move it back and it'll tell you, camera off. The white is a little opaque, and I'm not sure if that would fully block the camera. As far as I know, it couldn't send a decent picture across, but it could be used in the background to tell if someone's home or something like that, because right beside of it has a light sensor, and so with those two, then you could definitely tell if someone was in the room. One of my other little pet peeves is it only has three buttons on the top, and volume up, volume down, and then you have the mute button. Well, it doesn't have a home button or an activation button. So if you want to do this, every single time you have to say the activation word to get it to work. And that's sort of annoying, because I'd like to be able to just, in the middle of the night, instead of having to say a long string of words, I could just, tap on the activation button and go from there. The screen's really nice. I was surprised. It's not very high resolution, but it's enough, and very good for a nightstand, bedside clock. More or less, this is the way it looks all the time. Just the date and the temperature and stuff like that. When you play music, it will play the actual. It'll tell you what the song is actually playing, who is the artist, and after it, if you have like Amazon Music, it'll do like a little karaoke. Which is fun, but unfortunately, after it plays for like maybe 20 seconds, obviously not the entire length of the song, it'll go black, and then it'll go back to the time, and then for a few seconds it'll stay on the time, and it'll pop back to karaoke, which is sort of annoying if you wanted to actually sing the song. I mean, I know you're not going to really want to use it for that, but it's sort of annoying that it keeps flashing back and forth, and that's just, I don't really care for that part. Like I said, the screen is really nice on it, but it gets really hot. I mean, right now, it's hotter than my phone after using it for about 10 minutes. It's hotter than that, and I guess they really didn't do much in the way of, cooling the device. Other than that, it's pretty nice. I don't have a lot of negatives about it, except for the too much bass, but I was able to sort of thin that out a little bit in the controls. The Alexa app on your phone, you can adjust those, and that's pretty handy. So I more or less just turned the bass all the way down, and I still have plenty of bass that comes from my Logitech speakers. Let's see, what else could I say about it? I like that it has a rubberized base on the bottom, so when you set it down on anything like like wood or any hard surface that's not porous, then it doesn't move around. It stays where it's supposed to. And the dimming part of it, at nighttime, whenever it gets really dark in your room, it'll go all the way down, and it's actually a little bit hard to see, and it goes back to either super bright or really dimly lit. And it does that constantly all day long. So if you're across the room, it's hard to see. Would I purchase it again? Probably not. Even though I got the really good deal on Prime Day, I probably wouldn't purchase it again because I really liked my Echo Dot, the second generation. And I did go up to the third generation, but I didn't care for that because it just sounded too muffled, and the microphone wasn't as good. I screamed at it from like 15 feet across the room, and it never would pick me up until I got really close. I think the Echo Dot number 2 is second generation. I think that was the perfect, the perfect Dot to have because it just seemed like it had really good microphones. Now this one has really good microphones. I think that's one plus in its favor. Let's see, what else could I say about it that probably everyone has already said elsewhere. But like I said, I wouldn't purchase it again because I just feel that the screen doesn't really add that much to it. I mean, it's more aesthetic, and unless you just really like seeing the date and the temperature all the time, then that'd be the only reason you would get this. Because like I said, the Echo Dot 2 second generation, that would be something nice to have on your bedside table. And unless you don't have a clock and you really want one, then that'd be something to look at. But right now you can pick up Echo Dot second generation for around $15 on eBay, and that's a great deal. I would suggest you pick up one of those instead of going for this because it's just it just has a few bugs and stuff that need to be worked out. They need to add a home button, activation button, because it's on all the other products. I don't know why they wouldn't add it to this, unless this has one and I just can't figure out where it's at or how to use it. Or I mean, I've looked all over it. I press both buttons at the same time. That doesn't do anything. And if you press the mute button, like I said, all it does is mute. I mean, that's all it does. And I'm really not sure why that would be preferable to having an activation button. Anyway, that's my review of the Echo Show 5. You can pick these up at Amazon.com. If you really want one, I would just wait. And, pretty soon, I think they're pretty soon going to have a fire sale on. It just needs to have more features, and it may have more features in the future with a software update, but I know the price is going to come down. It always does. I mean, when the Echo Dot second generation came out, it was, what was it, $49 or something like that, and now you can pick them up for 15 or 20 bucks. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Hope it was informative. Please rate and subscribe, thumbs up. Please share if you would like, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.